Tales of Estolia. Volume 1. The Promise of Zacharias. Part 5. According to Prophecy. Chapter 14. Introductions. When a man sees the aura of his future mate, it is a special blessing. Only a small proportion of the sons of Zacharias will see it. Estolian men believe that their 30th birthday is the best day to consummate their future union, and will strive to discover their Kaylee in time to take advantage of the blessings that come with adhering so closely to the promise of Zacharias. While not all men will receive these two blessings, it is believed that the third blessing is given to every man when he finds a woman pure in body and mind to be his Kaylee. The men rarely think about how the women of Estolia, by birth or marriage, are the ones who are given the greatest of all gifts, the keeping of a soul. They do what is right because of the faith they are immersed in from birth onward. Most Estolian women understand how heavily the balance of blessings is skewed in their favor. Georgiana Zakarian, Inscrito. Inside the temple, the floor was a mosaic of brown, black, and gold tiles. Leon guided her straight down the hall to another set of double doors. Once the doors closed behind them, she took in their surroundings. They were in an oval-shaped chamber with a raised stage-like area on the far side. Steps wrapped all the way around the small stage, 4 steps leading to an elevated surface. The stage was big enough to accommodate the 3 men standing there, along with a large pillow in purple and green with thick gold embroidery. Leon led her directly up the steps. "Kneel on the pillows," he whispered to her. Callista followed his instructions, grateful for both his guidance as well as his hands settling on her shoulders. 3 men stood facing them. The man in the center was wearing richly embroidered robes. Standing to one side was the king. He wore a thick, elaborate crown on his head, and strapped to his side was a scabbard with an exquisite sword. His expression was austere and forbidding. Callista's legs trembled. She was afraid that, despite Leon's words, these men would find her unacceptable. The third man was also dressed in monk's robes. He wore a black sash, pinned at shoulder and hip. His right hand gripped the handle of a dagger, with the blade resting lightly in the palm of his left hand. It was Nico. He saw her eyes on him and he winked at her, before turning his solemn attention to the man in the center. "My name is Lazarus Ezekiel Zakarian. I am the keeper of the soul of Estolia, first consul to the king, and former last resort. I understand your name is Callista Tyr, daughter of Raymond and Estrella Tyr?" The man in the center spoke to her. When she nodded, he smiled. She thought it was a strangely gentle expression for a man whose appearance was so formidable. "Welcome to Estolia, Callista. I would be pleased if you would call me Zeke." "Thank you," she said, unsure if it was okay for her to speak. He turned his attention from her to Leon, and his expression grew cold. "Leonidas Agamemnon Zakarian, firstborn son of Isaiah Monterey Zakarian, he who is duke, sovereign, and king of Estolia, to fulfill your hereditary role in our nation. From the time you were conceived, you were always constrained to give your soul into the keeping of a woman worthy to be queen of Estolia, and to do this no more than 7 days prior to your 30th birthday. What have you to say?" Leon squeezed her shoulders and caressed her skin with his thumbs as he answered, "I, Leonidas Agamemnon Zakarian, firstborn son of the king of Estolia, have given my soul into the keeping of Callista Tyr, a woman more than worthy to hold the soul of a king. In so doing I have kept the promise made by Zacharias to deity, and fulfilled the obligations placed upon me at birth." "Rise, Callista Tyr," Nico said. She got to her feet with Leon's help. One of the younger men wearing robes approached and took the pillow away from the stage. Leon climbed 1 step so he was standing directly behind her. He pulled her backwards against his body, one large hand on her abdomen while the other was on her shoulder. Nico stepped forward. "I am Nicodemus Luciano Zakarian, second-born son of the king of Estolia. I have taken on the office of last resort. I stand ready to exercise my sacred duty if I am required to do so by Estolian custom and law, to uphold the promise made by Zacharias to deity. I wish to also extend to you, Callista, A heartfelt welcome to Estolia. The king stepped forward and said, Callista Tyr, I am Isaiah Monterey Zakarian, Duke, Sovereign, and King of Estolia. My son claims you as his Kaylee. Did you yield your purity to my son? She felt a blush rushing to her cheeks. I did. She was grateful for the squeeze Leon gave her shoulder. Do you wish to reject the man who has taken your purity, or do you accept him as the other half of your soul? Zeke asked. She was not sure what to say. I choose to stay with Leon so long as I have that right. I will only leave his side if forced to do so. When the expressions on the faces of the three men did not change, she added forcefully, I do not reject Leon. And you, Leonidas, do you accept the keeper of your soul or do you require your last resort to exercise his sacred duty? Leon did not hesitate. I accept the keeper of my soul and believe she is worthy to be my Kaylee, and that she is perfect as the future queen of Estolia, and mother of the future king. Callista Tyr is my everything. Nico tucked the dagger in a hidden pocket on the inner surface of the black sash. Zeke, his expression transformed to pleasure, said, You will spend a week in the temple. If the spirit sanctifies your union, you will be married when you have finished your time within. Several hours later, Callista was walking with Leon in the small garden outside the seclusion suite. Even though it was winter, it was still pleasant, with only a chill in the air. She looked at the man who transformed her world so quickly. They had spent some time asleep in the beautiful bedroom and were wearing matching green and purple bathrobes. Will you really be king someday? She asked him. I will, Callista, and when I am king you will be my queen. Nico called me princess all the time. The way he said it gave me goosebumps. My brother believed, from the moment he met you, that we would be perfect for each other. He led her back into the seclusion suite, bringing her to a small two-seater sofa. Once she was seated, he poured 2 glasses of juice and carried them back to her. The things he was telling her about Orion, about his land, and about their future were swirling through her mind. She felt as if it all solidified into one shining, glorious truth. She lived in fear and loneliness the last year, but now that was at an end. More than that, she was loved and in love. She belonged.